Yeah. You're going on right now.
We haven't got to talk about really.
Well, I mean, got done doing Thanksgiving yesterday. Visiting the family. There's a few more times before we take off to a new state. I forgot my bag.
The last Metroid is in captivity. The galaxy is at peace.
Yeah. I have one thing that comes to mind from doing this. I haven't seen it lately, but I did get it. As far as like a comeback or an insult. When I was commenting on someone's bullshit, they come back with this, why are you so mad? Like, why are you mad? I told that person, if they're not going to talk to me like a human being, they can just fuck off. And then left. Let them be. I just want to know why they think that's like some kind of own. Like, is having some kind of, is being devoid of emotion, is that like a win of some sort? You have any kind of like passion for anything that's going on in the world that's like a bad thing? Why do I think like it's such an own for to be mad about, you know, the current state of things in any way? I don't know. I hope I trigger something when I make my little synthetic man video. It's not mainly on him. It's also it's generally on like the whole neat thing. There we go. Just refining these a bit. Oh, better grab a battery for my camera. Oh. Yes. Did it start? Where was I? Almost seems like this mouse is floating. Fix that up a bit. There we go. Actually, make more sense if we put that up here. A little bit bend there. Let's see. Question is, do I do some of the goofy reveals? I'll guess them later. Do some of the goofy stuff later for the next page. Yes.
Downstairs for me. When you're done.
I can... Get these on the table. What?
Love you.
Love you. What are you looking at? What?
Love you.
What's so funny? What's so funny?
I got 2 points.
Stream never forgets.
I got 2 points already. I love you.
Love you more.
And then Snuggies.
While I got a bunch of stuff to guys.
Okay, I'm all locked in.
I gotta go drive out tomorrow and pick up stuff. Whatever it's called. Dummy glass. Well, yeah, the flames and the orbs. So maybe the orb was meant to be like glowing. I think the upper orb's way than the orb. Rise. Give it a try and do it more tiny. I guess it makes sense put it in the flames too, like that. That's more of a lighting effect too. Alright. Promised myself I'd do this. Alright. Ah. How much I want to do at once. I'm just trying to clean up some of this pencil here. Make it easier to ink when I get to there. That part. And I think I'm really at to the point where I can confidently do it. It is funny, there was this news that came out about this Ninja Turtle movie I want to see called Last Ronin. I got the books. Last Ronin, like the Lost Years. And it's supposed to be a rated R movie adaptation. And they decided to stop it. And you know, just like typical executive bullshit. Because one type of movie works, they gotta make it all like that now for the next 20 years. They said they want to Sonicify the Ninja Turtles franchise. And it's like, what the fuck does that mean? And so they just want to, like, make it more about, you know, toy sales and family friendly. And it's just bullshit. It is amusing to me, though, that we still have these, like, chuds trying to make a fucking, well, some of them are successful with it, making a living off the culture war about it. Trying to claim, like, the Ninja Turtles are going woke. And it's like, isn't the Sonic movie something a bunch of fans like us bitched about and got the character design changed for the better and all that? Now we got a bunch of these same people coming out saying like the Ninja Turtles are gonna go woke. Like, I think they're just gonna try to make it more of a general audience appeal like they've been doing before. And that sucks. I just remember seeing a comment where someone's like, I blame Black April. It's like, what do you mean, Black April? There's just April. There's just April O'Neil. It doesn't matter what skin color she is. So there's no Black April. Technically. Right? It's just April. Now, what is it with these fucking weirdos taking this shit so fucking seriously, though? Well, at least seriously in like a really cringy way. Like no one talks about media the way a lot of these chuds online do. Like when I interact with regular people online, not online, regular people in person, no one ever brings up the fucking term woke about anything. They can never define it either, if you ever find anyone that does. To this day, what it is, it's still a mystery. I mean, it's not a mystery if you look up the actual definition of what it means, but for everyone else, though, it's whatever the fuck they want it to mean. Just keeping the word. Alright, let's get another little winged moth here. Anyway, as long as it looks like a moth. Close enough. Put my husband's to bed. It's gonna be a long night. My idea, at least. That's my plan for the next couple hours, at least. I want to at least get the penciling done on this. I guess I should have some vines in here. Give it more of a lively look. Almost like veins for a tree. Well, essentially they are. Let's see what we got. It's, yeah, short-tailed. TJ's staying on the mushroom. Yeah, who's doing who here? Who's who in this? So that's Nin. No, this is Nin here. That's right. Because Nin has a little top. Marilyn is the short one. And this has to be Greg. Alright, his bigger eye would be on the left side. My conundrum is, if with that big eye, right, would it be bulging out on this side? Even at this distance, and I'm looking up, would it be bulging out? I guess it would, just for the amusement of it. Okay, yeah, there's Greg with his weird fucking eye. Alright. Now it's just about keeping consistency here with the characters from the first page and so forth. Considering the closest we'll be seeing a lot of them first off, so yeah, Alan's got the little thing there. Yeah, TJ's got the little patch. Alright. Just trying to clean this up a bit here. It's kind of hard to do that when it's like supposed to be organic and kind of messy in itself, because, you know, nature is kind of messy. I just had another grounding moment with my siblings at our Thanksgiving dinner. One of my relatives is a teacher at a charter school. I mentioned PragerU and they never heard of him. I'm like, good. And it's just like, good, thank God. So I know PragerU is going to be implemented in a lot of these like public schools I mean, so far, like, the biggest one they always like to point to is the Columbus shit, right? And that's always been a thing. When I went to elementary school, it was like we just learned the whole story of the whole like made up story where Columbus discovers the Caribbean area, whatever. And what happens after that? Who knows? We don't learn about that part. Yeah, you'll never have an elementary school teacher go over the journals that Columbus wrote about how the people on these islands are going to be so easy to conquer and subjugate. And then coming back with all these ships of people looking for gold or expecting them to get gold, driving the natives to murder themselves to avoid having their hands chopped off as punishment for not getting enough gold. If there's any justice in this world, like, Columbus would have been executed for such crimes against humanity. And just like with the natives, of course, they'll point to things like, oh, they were a violent tribe too. They've had wars and fights with other tribes. Okay, so is the criteria to negate genocide to be the perfect utopian society? And it's just like that book, Manufacturing Consent. There's worthy victims and unworthy victims. And worthy and unworthy victims are just determined by the marketing teams at mainstream, liberal, conservative-owned media. Oh, I did learn something interesting today. The other day, really, that more information came out about the assassin of Trump, or the one that tried to assassinate Trump. That he was a huge Trump supporter, also a far-right activist, or at least enthusiast, I should say. He was too young to be real. He's really too young to be much of an activist in terms of his reach and power. He felt like he could spark a civil war if he just took out Trump. And that's just, man, if that sparked the civil war, that would just say a lot of horrible things about the state of our country, wouldn't it? But there were people like calling for it. There are these morons making videos on TikTok saying things like, just tell us, Trump, say when. Please, Trump, enact a civil war. Please, Trump, declare it. It's like, he ain't going to declare shit. You think he wants to declare a civil war and put his ass on the line like that? You kidding me? At his fucking age, all he cares about is getting his fucking ballroom done. And pretending that him and Epstein weren't friends. And all these people acting like if Democrats are on the list, we would somehow change our mind about it. Who's doing that, by the way? Maybe some bot account you can find on Twitter is doing it. That's pretty much it. Yeah, that was a good move on Twitter for once. Showing the locations of a lot of these Twitter accounts and when they're operating out of. Because he had one guy that was supposed to be supposedly telling the story about what it's like to live in Gaza, out of India. He had all these right-wing accounts that are out of like Kenya, Nigeria, Russia. At least likely Russia. And because social media is all about just like how many people you can get to engage with your post in order to get revenue, that's all it's worth now. Rage baiting. And I don't know what to do with that. I don't know how to like do anything with it. I guess maybe one strategy I thought of is maybe taking just, instead of responding to posts, taking screenshots of it. Not even like quote posting it, just taking screenshots of it, and then put my response on my own page. Put whatever relevant hashtags are on there, and trying to like siphon off audiences that way, and get attention that way. In fact, I should do that right now. Let's try a few. Let's go on Threads. If I can find my fucking phone. There it is. Go on Threads, take a few screenshots of some bullshit posts. It won't take long to find any. And then, oh good, I wasn't recording anything. So then, yeah, we'll do that. Let's see here. Won't take long. When is enough enough? How do we stop it? Fucking chemtrail bullshit. Yeah, in Maddox, it's like, you chemtrail losers are so far gone. Indeed. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to screenshot it. I'm going to save it to my photos. What a idiot. Chemtrails. Put a bunch of other hashtags on there. Conspiracies. Morons. It's getting mad at the wrong things all the time. Some AI bullshit here, probably. Yep, it's more AI bullshit. The anti-AI artist. Why is capitalism on the left, socialism, communism on the right? Okay, let's see what say you're uneducated. Alright, I'm just gonna screenshot that. Save the photos. And I'm gonna post my response that way. Demonstrate speedrunning. To say speedrunning that you have over it. Speedrunning and idiocy. Just put socialism on there. Let's do 3. What's that? Oh, that's the noise it makes when someone says something on Discord. Okay. Let's screenshot this and just respond to the screenshot. Alright. What political power does the left have? It has nothing. Is it nothing? It's liberals and conservatives. How much do these bot accounts make in revenue? Just put in, I don't know, hashtag conservatives. I don't know, billionaires. There we go. Let's see if that works. Finally finished Final Fantasy Crisis Core, or Squigs did. Pretty good. I mean, I enjoyed the fighting. That's about it. Can't say the story was really that good. I feel like it just could have had more of an impact in terms of like a tragic end for a character like Zack. I feel like this could have been so much better. That's this line here. If anything, it should go. Oh my god. I don't care about your fucking date. Oh my god. There. Fuck. That makes sense there. Yeah, it's like running off on the side. Oh, let's see what we can do here. Toys! Food! I have a vine coming out of there. That makes sense there. Try and make this look a little more overgrown and lively. I have like a tiger striped mushroom here. No, I guess it would make more sense to have keep the same thing going here with the spotted mushrooms, because like they didn't travel that far or anything. All right, let's keep these spotted. All right. Yeah. Looks like some of the bark ripped off there. And obviously, I don't need to stipple too much. Show some dirt. Pile of leaves. Grass. Let's fix some of the lines in here. I'm also starting to learn about how a lot of our authors didn't really get much recognition until after they died, and like all of a sudden their shit gets published afterwards. How fucked up is that? Like, you don't get any recognition until after you die. Like, oh, we can make money off this person. Don't have to worry about paying them royalties. How great. Hey, Dylan. Bye. What's up? Yeah, chat's always open. Let me pull up my phone here. I was talking about how, okay, what do we got here? Boop. Get my, where's my channel? There we are. Quiet and chill. How was the Thanksgiving? It was good, catching up with family and everything, and getting a little dose of reality. As I was mentioning, like, once again, it's still funny how my siblings have no idea about things like PragerU and Jordan Peterson and being like, you know, teachers and stuff like that. Which is good, you know. Nephews are getting older. One's starting school already. Well, he's in school now. Kindergarten. Then soon will be Christmas. I already got my Christmas presents bought. Gotta wrap those up. Tomorrow we got a lot of people coming over. A lot of friends we haven't seen in a while. Hello, Racer Guard. And, yep, getting a roast together. Getting some demi-glace sauce. So the roast is cooking all night, overnight. So that's gonna be good. Let's see, how do we do? I'm gonna like a little like, Yeah, we're gonna have like a little puddle of water in this mushroom here. It's like a cup mushroom. Just clean up the lines here and pencils. Kindergarten, where the bullshit all starts, yeah. He wants me to bring another girl into the relationship. Oh, she wants another girl. Hey, as long as everyone's cool with it and clear communication. And it's all straightforward, you know, straight up whenever you meet up with someone and start dating or hanging out or whatever. You know, some poly relationships last a long time. Sometimes they don't. But, you know, I can't predict the future. Well, I mean, if you think it's weird, then yeah, it's just, you know, that's something you do then. I mean, of course it's weird because it's not the majority of what people do. Yeah, me and my two husbands, we're almost on year 10. All three of us. I think it's gonna be year 10 next year. Something like that. Been at least 8 or 9. I mean, obviously you can't make it officially. You can't try to make it official legally, because it's not recognized. The government decided that was fraud for some reason. Yeah. Alrighty. Good, I'm glad to see YMS Adam making videos again. That's right, I need to make another email and send that out to him. He wants this. He's said he's looking for someone to edit the gaming channel of his. So, I don't know, I'll get persistent and email him again. Be another thing for me to do, especially when there's like downtime with onion nuggets. Which I'm shocked to say that's happened right now. The shows have been pretty short, which is fine. Because they're still like making headway and everything. It just means less clips for me to edit overall. Though I definitely could I could probably dig in some of the past shows and put some more together. That's my plan for tomorrow at least. Assuming I have time. Because like I said, we were getting a roast together and I got a bunch of people coming over tomorrow. And thank you. One of our friends, I'm sure they didn't have much of a good time. They're recovering right now. So hope they're well, hope they're making it through. Let's see here. So how do we detail this sign? There we go. I mean, you're over 18 now, so I guess I could say, you can send me a picture of your face on Discord or whatever. You can send me a selfie. I mean, if I do a Discord, if I ever get enough of an audience, at least preferably before I die or something, then I can start a Discord up and get a whole like section of selfies, so people can take selfies like they do on the other Discord I'm on. Yeah, New Jersey was a blast. Wisconsin was pretty good. Could have been better. It was overall a good weekend. Oh, weekend just started, but not used to that sound from Discord. Installed it on Linux here. Alright. Alright, man. I'm tired and it starts hitting you all at once. It's not going to come in the form of a zip file, is it? Okay. Ah. Nice glasses. Looking good. Oh. It is funny when me and my friend were talking. My friend is electrician lineman, and I go on Facebook once in a while because Facebook automatically sends you links to other profiles from like your high school years, and it's just amazing how aged some people look 20 years later. And at least I got that going for me still. You fall bitches very easily. Hey, you said it, not me. But yes, I would just say based on looks, so yeah. You would have no problem doing that. Let's see here. It's gonna be crazy. There's a idea that there's gonna be 50-year mortgages for houses in the future, And that sort of thing has already been tried in Japan during the 80s, and it devastated a whole generation worth of families. And I guess there's the people in charge just ignoring historical precedent and wanting to try that again. Try that again here. It's just insane to me. Like a half century of a mortgage, so you have like what, generational debt? It's ridiculous. Yeah, we're pretty much going to end up going back to like the days where Uncle Jerry, Aunt Susan, Grandma Jones, etc., are all living in the same house together just for survival purposes. Like if you watch Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, like that sort of living with grandma and grandpa and mom and dad in the same house. I don't think he had. No, he didn't have a dad. Mom, grandpa, grandma, the uncles, whatever, all living in the same house. Like that was fairly common at a certain point. Like what we're gonna have next, we're gonna go back to dynasties. Instead of corporate elite businesses, because it's just so much nepotism already. We kind of already have it, really. There's so much nepotism, and next generation just takes over the company, whatever company is running. All right, let's take some of the detail away from some of these trees in the back here. I'm gonna start blocking out some of this stuff here. And laying up some areas so I can tell the difference, what goes where. And then after I get 2 of these pages inked, probably not even colored. Once I get them inked, I want to get them cleaned up, and I'm going to start figuring out some agencies to send them to with the outline. See if I can get it published. I might start the rejection process now. See how many I have to send before I get any kind of feedback. Next spring is our big move. We're moving out of this place to a new place. As far as the state goes, can't say yet. So hopefully it's done before the housing market crashes again. Or maybe we can time it, maybe it'll time right, where we get a good sale. And then the crash happens and we get a lower rate and easier buy. But that was the thing though. That was also the problem though. During the crash, like, banks weren't issuing any mortgages, period. Even if you could potentially get a deal, unless you had like outright cash for something, they wouldn't issue it. So it's like you can't win either way. There's a certain standard and profit they want to potentially get off of you. And one way or another, they're just going to get it. Hate it. Hate it so much. Yeah, I had to break the news to the parents and family that we're going to be moving next year. And say it's cross country. There's no guarantees in life. I just don't want to talk about it too much and reveal anything, and possibly set up a jinx or someone trying to sabotage us who might just happen to be lurking or listening or doesn't like my Charlie Cat stickers. Yeah, there's one person that did not like those Charlie Cat stickers. They kept commenting on my shit, and I'm like, they didn't respond, but it's like, what do you think it says when that's the thing that gets your attention compared to anything else I do? Are you just basically, are you just telling me to make more? Oh, I ain't much interest in making more of those, though. No one has any interest in buying them. They're more interested in just, like, seeing them get spread around other places at random, which is probably what I'll do. I mean, I won't do that, of course not. We'd never do that. But people buy the other stickers, though. I'm just happy for that. And people find amusement out of that book. Out of the Furry Menace book I did. Oh yeah, I don't know if you were here last time I mentioned it, but I did finish the script for another book, aside from this one. Parody, called The Transmission. Making fun of all the religious hysteria and bullshit surrounding trans people. You know, the outrage that was invented and hasn't been let go on for about 10 years now. I mean, right now they're kind of cycling back to hating immigrants. And then after they're done with immigrants, they'll probably be talking about quote-unquote thugs / black people for a bit. And then give it another decade and a half, it'll probably go back to queer people in general. And then trans people again. Things always seem to have like the same kind of cycle over and over again. Well, we are looking at the far west region. Okay, I can just mention it. But yeah, it's basically the thing that's motivating us is the state we're in currently, Ohio, and land taxes, and well, the raising rate of land taxes. It is funny to me too, like all this talk about how certain states try to run you dry with like overreaching of government and taxes, and it's like when you actually look into it and do research, you find that the states that have to take the most welfare are red states. The ones that contribute back tend to be the more of the blue states. Not that we like liberals in any way, because you know, given the right circumstances, they throw us under the bus. It just kills me though that there's this idea that there's like an actual left political party. There is no left political party. No left person has any power here. Otherwise, universal health care and free college would actually be on the table, but it's not. It never is. It's not even discussed. Near as living wages. Might be mentioned here and there, but that's about it. That's why Trump won the popular vote. It's because no one wanted to vote for Kamala, a woman who puts parents in jail for truancy. But I think, you know, whatever job I end up getting in California, I probably won't like compared to where I'm working now as my day job. But, well, what can I say? It'll just be more motivation for me to get good and start putting my name out there for art shows. You know, concentrate on that. And like I said, you know, proposing this book and my graphic novel eventually to get published. One way or the other, either through an agency or me. Or discovering it has some like long lost rich relative. I don't know. Whatever it takes. I got nothing to lose. jokingly say, like, in one of my, I just jokingly said like a week ago in one of the videos I was working on, like, yeah, I pretty much won life and it's too late to stop me. Like, I achieved everything that most people want to achieve in terms of like the basic American dream, you know, getting a home, building a family, having a career. So yeah, at this point, like, everything's just an extra win. I just want to get my stories out there now. Why are we moving to California? Well, like I said, land taxes, jobs. I'll just say, like, there's going to be career changes here with our family. And Kieran, of course, he works remote, so he can go anywhere. In fact, he's going to be closer to his headquarters when we move out. And yeah, Tonto, yes, I do talk to him still. You know, he probably might be coming over tomorrow. He's going to be likely moving out of the country. Fiance. There's some other friends too that usually would come during Thanksgiving. Hoping to get to see them again. I hope they're doing alright. Yeah, so many people that come into your life and go the longer you live. This sucks. I mean, this is part. I guess this is part of the, like, the shit sandwich you eat when you become a creative or you decide to become an artist and you can't help yourself. Like, I really can't. There is a balance to try to have when it comes to, like, actually living a fulfilling life and not being lost in your work, because I don't know, to me, if there was no one to share it with, stuff I make and the stuff I do, the shows I watch, movies I watch even, just like, you know, what's the point? I mean, I guess if I wasn't in any kind of relationship, I can see, like, I would probably connect to people on forums, show discussions and stuff like that. Alright, this is finally starting to come together a little bit more. Just figuring out, like, where do I want the blacks to be. Kind of doing a little bit of practice on how to do leaves properly in ink. Playing with the pencil, because I always can erase that a lot easier than the ink. As soon as I'm done penciling, though, tonight I am going to go to bed. I gotta go shopping tomorrow for some food items so we can bake our roast. Let's aim this down just a little bit more, huh? Alright. Retiring to Japan? Yeah, we were looking. Yeah, oh man, we were looking at Vietnam. We were looking at New Zealand. The problem with New Zealand, though, it's pretty much the same as America in terms of, like, economics and is concerned, because of people like fucking Zuckerberg. And it's real sad too, because there is a lab that I could work for there. It's under the same company I'm working for now. But yeah, just the living conditions there are pretty much all relatively the same. Bunch of corpos ruining the fucking country there and destroying their environment through the dairy farming. Yeah, that fucking kills me. There's already like people trying to push for the for banning lab grown meat. Like, motherfucker, we harvest and kill 150 billion. There's like 150 billion cows a year for meat and dairy and everything. And you know the population's still growing. Like, at what point is there a tipping point? Like, how much land, how many resources does it take to raise that much in terms of livestock? Should there not be any focus for alternatives? Like, you know, the lab I work for right now, right? Like, if we relied on natural breeding for dairy cows, we would have no fucking ice cream unless, and well, ice cream would be like $1,000 for a half gallon because there'd be no fucking way to keep the dairy supply going, doing like natural breeding as opposed to artificial insemination is what they use to keep the cows pregnant and producing milk. Like, imagine, man. I don't try to advocate for any kind of veganism shit. That's why if you ever hear anything of talks about like eating bugs and shit like that, like that's what they're referring to. It's like, hey, there might come a point where this shit becomes so unattainable or sustainable that you would have no option then to start looking for other food sources, and you're probably not gonna like the alternatives. So I definitely don't like that idea. And already the same kind of people that deny climate change are already primed to declare that it's God's wrath, if it ever gets to that point. And some already are doing it. Oh no, no, the Earth is getting warm because of the gods angry at the gay marriage. Yep, we were considering Japan, though the problem with well, yeah, yeah, Japan was an option we considered. Yeah, they're a capitalist hellhole too. Even worse so. You also have to deal with the fact that if you're working, well, you said you're going to retire there, so that's one thing to retire there. But if we're still like working and stuff, and it's like, well, you know, it's going to be looked at as an outcast, you know, even if you, regardless if you know the language or not. But yeah, Vietnam though was an option because, you know, equal rights and all that, well, better equal right protections. You know, no nation's perfect, but you know, they at least have some social safety nets. At least there's some fucking like programs involved when it comes to immigration and, you know, helping you assimilate into the country. Yeah, oh yeah, that was one thing that came up. My sister was telling me how she had to like correct a bunch of people she talks to because Dearborn, Michigan has a lot of has a large Muslim population, right? And so there's like people concerned, like, aren't you afraid? Aren't you afraid of walking outside when you're in Dearborn? It's like, oh yeah, she's just gonna get stabbed the moment she leaves the door of her house. Just so much fucking fear-mongering propaganda bullshit. But on a lighter note, we got to play some new games. Some new board games. Card games I got. One's called Trash Pandas, and the other's called Trash Cult. Trash Pandas involves, getting... Wow, I can't remember the fucking... I'm getting both games mixed in my head now. That's right. Trash Pan is you try to like stash as much garbage as possible to get points, and then Trash Cult is you try to pick a certain animal, either raccoon, rat, squirrel, raccoon, rat, squirrel, and of course the fourth animal leaves me. But anyways, the idea is to get a cult member and get the associated food item that they worship, and that's how you win that game. Very easy to play, especially especially having, I'd say, I don't want to say middle-aged kids. I don't know what usually it would be like. Well, it says 8 on the box, so 8 and up. So nephew's not quite there yet. And he's just joining, he's just getting into school, so he can't really read yet. My second nephew, I believe, is about 1 year old now. 1 or 2. There's a friend, though, that moved out to the San Diego area that I've known since I was like 5. Actually, since I was 4. So we'll probably end up reconnecting more so when we get out to that area. We're not moving to the San Diego area, though. Too expensive. We're going to be pretty far out from there. At least that's the idea. Again, we're not there yet. It's going to be like a year, so... Hopefully I'll get more of this book done by then. Maybe I'll even get published by then. Maybe I'll get such a deal we won't even have to move. Wouldn't that be nice? But we'll see. Don't give your hopes up. If I gave my hopes up, I would never have left my parents' house. I'd be like, any day now. Any day now, Mommy. Mommy and Daddy, it'll happen any day now. Please, don't kick me out. I can't wait to finish that video tomorrow. I hope I get to finish that video this weekend. You're online enough. I'm sure you know what a neat is. No one else in my family knows, and they're young. Some people are, they're like 10 years younger than me, and they don't know. Again, just reminds me just like how contained the internet world is compared to the real regular world. Never heard of terms like neat and chud and chad or whatever. Do-do. Yeah, next year I'll be 40. Another thing I think about right now is like, man, so many YouTubers I watch, like tens of thousands of times more successful than I am, either like crashed out or quit or got caught doing something horrible or being part of something horrible. It's like, I outlasted them all. Shit. Having to work a full-time job to support my my passion, and I'm not managing to obtain a big audience because I don't have tens of thousands of dollars worth of advertising, and also I didn't start in 2006 or 2000. Between the times of 2006 and 2010. Like, I sort of started in 2009, but I had like no know-how in terms of like business sense. So I thought like, oh yeah, I could just be a variety channel. I could have everything I do here, right? It's like, no, it doesn't work that way. People generally only watch you for one thing you do good. And if you stray from that, they'll dump you. Neep or meme? No, a neat. N-E-E-T. Not in employment, education, or training. That's what the next video I'm working on is kind of about. It's about one specific neat. And just like looking back on how that was like the fear I had growing up, or like becoming. And it was also kind of the joke for me and a lot of my friends had for just people in general who indulge in too much consumerism. There's no other way to describe it. Consumerism of like anime, Magic the Gathering, you name it, whatever. Like I went to the game stores and I met my share of people I looked at and just kind of like thought like, wow, like they looked older than me, but they're probably around the same age. But because they don't wash or groom themselves, they just look significantly older. And I don't say it like in this. I don't think of it like a superior, complex kind of way either. I just look at it the way it's like, man, I'm glad I chose to like, I don't know, do stuff. Ah, that reminds me. That's the thing I wanted to talk about when I forgot to write down since I was driving. Made a 4-hour drive to my parents. One thing I noticed when it comes to sites, or really the environments of places like Kiwi Farms, and some of the interviews I've watched of former creatives on YouTube who would make videos of any variety. It just seems like a disdain for some people who to just express themselves, period. Like, I can't be the only one that notices that. Like, in fact, I wasn't the only one. I remember there was an article I read about Kiwi Farms where they pretty much, like, they like to pick on people who are not, of course, not all the time, right? This is how they justify their existence, because they always go after at least one or two pieces of shit to make up for like the people just trying to mind their own fucking business. But yeah, it's just there seems like a disdain for people to just like that are different, that express themselves. Sometimes, once in a while, it just seems like that. Like, I was watching an interview of someone who not worked for. They used to make videos on the Channel Awesome website before it went defunct and became just a YouTube channel. And the way they talked, though, it was just like, man, what am I going to do? Am I going to be, like, making these videos when I'm 40 and stuff like that? Like, why would I be doing that? And I'm just thinking to myself when I heard that, like, yeah, I would be. Like, there's always seems to be, like, this weird crowd of people that just hate it. Hate seeing other people express themselves. And, I wonder, at least the ones that take themselves really seriously, what's going to happen to people like the Quartering, Geeks and Gamers, these people that do nothing but focus on, like, being critical of everyone and everything in terms of, like, entertainment, and act like it's, like, some kind of culture war. Like, it's some kind of, like, fight worth fighting that's really important. These movies, these video games are just so important, guys. We need to stop the woke from ruining our video games. Yes, that's what's ruining our video games. The minorities being represented in them. Like, I got an example. I don't know if you've heard of this guy. But there's this guy named Andy Pants Gaming. And he always talks about how, like, women getting their rights was a satanic conspiracy. And he's serious, by the way. He's not trolling. He went out of his way to make a video game called Chad versus the Gay Nazis. He has a model of his daughter, like a drawn 2D model. Let me be specific. He has a drawn 2D model that's supposed to represent his daughter being married off to like a grown adult in drag as part of the plot. And turns out recently I found out he's divorced and his wife got full custody of their daughter. Probably because of this, partly because of that fucking game he made. Where he proposes the idea of like all gay people are out to rape children and corrupt the youth and all that shit. And I just think, man, like, is that going to be like the end game for a lot of these supposed creators on YouTube who just focus on nothing but like how woke a movie is and how woke a video game is? So fucking bizarre. And then there's the people that I don't know, like there's people that I can't think of way to describe it, where they have like no authenticity. Like Boogie2988, I think is a prime example of someone who just has no authenticity. I never thought a fat man taking an axe and breaking his own shit wouldn't be funny. Or at least entertaining in some way, but he managed to do it. He managed to be a fat man destroying his own gear with an axe and be boring. Because it's so performative and so fake. His crash outs, him saying that he's broke. You know, it's like it's things like that. Again, maybe sour grapes, but I think I'm in a different position than other people. But there's a lot of people I look at, and I look at their success, and I'm like, man, I'm glad I wasn't thrusted into success early on. I probably would have ended up like some of these people. See, that's where I kind of chalk it up of not trying to come off as like a superiority complex, because you know what, given the right circumstances, I could have just as easily been one of these early creators that got really huge and then like had a big crash out because like there's a bunch of lessons I didn't know I should know in terms of how to avoid internet drama. That's fine. A bunch of people had crash outs and made their mistakes, so I can learn from them. Not that you know, certain lessons I didn't have to learn. Like I didn't have to learn the lesson of not talking to children. I didn't have to learn that lesson. That seemed pretty much a given compared to some of these YouTubers. You know, at least if someone comes on my stream and they're not, I don't know how I would know, because YouTube's open up to any age. But yeah, there ain't gonna be ever any kind of like DMs that come out of me engaging in someone who's under 18. I don't worry about anyone coming out about like how they were mistreated 30 years ago by me when they were a teenager or whatever. I don't have to worry about that. I don't have to worry about some record of mine coming up, some arrest record like one Minecraft player did. Found out the hard. He had to find out the hard way. Like he was on the list for something he did as a teenager or something like that. And he didn't take it well. Just say that. But no, those are lessons I didn't have to learn. Lessons I'm glad I learned was just basically just how to avoid petty internet drama shit from like Angry Nerd, the Angry Nerd / James Rolfe. Or like one example was he did a non-review of Ghostbusters, the one with the woman Ghostbusters, and he just said he was refusing to review the movie because it didn't look like a Ghostbusters movie. It just looked like a slapstick comedy with the Ghostbusters name on it. And all of a sudden, like, a couple articles come out about how, like, he's a sexist because of some of the things he said, and his response to it was crickets. He did not even acknowledge it. He did not respond to it at all. Did not engage with it. And that, to me, is, like, the prime example of how to handle bullshit drama. Because that shit is just bait. Like, whoever wrote that article probably didn't even believe that for an instant. They just know he was a high-profile figure, and they would get a lot of internet traffic by mentioning him, which they probably did. But not from him, though. And that, to me, is like the prime example of how to handle it. Speaking of Angry Nerd, I did finally put his movie on to watch it. That's pretty standard. It was a pretty standard Angry Nerd review. You know, it had a little more ambition behind it, like an extended episode. I don't know why people hate on it so much. I should just make a fucking video defending it. I should make a video defending it after all these years. Giving it a positive review. That could be amusing. Okay, I think this is finally coming together. I'm actually seeing the prime detail here, so when I come to ink it, I was getting kind of concerned, like, how am I going to figure this out? But yeah, just adding enough areas to put black in there, it's like, okay, it's coming together now. Finally coming together. Let's put some leaves here, put a couple leaves here. We got a bunch of mushrooms in here. Some grass. Dark patches of dirt. Yeah, so we're gonna have some leaves. It's just gonna be very leafy. Like, here comes Leafy, where the fuck that channel was. Yeah, that's another format, huh? It's just not really. Well, maybe it's viable. I don't know. Leafy is here. That's his name. That's right. Yeah, just find a bunch of people's videos and make fun of them. I have no problem with. I don't like moralize over that shit. I'm trying to focus on just making things, even video-wise, just things I can look back on, or anyone can watch at almost any time. Like, I think there's a lot of Nostalgia Critic reviews and Angry Nerd reviews that still hold up and everything. It wasn't so late, I'm tempted to just watch some of them now. Kind of reminisce. I don't like how there's just like one big patch of leaves here. Probably figure out how to make it look like it's... Well, yeah, just continue that theme of the first page. Just fairly cleaned up ground here. It's less detail, it's out in the distance. I mean, yeah, maybe like a leaf here. Fallen leaf. No, you know, some other... Some holes in the leaves. Let's see. So the podcast I worked for, did a 24-hour gauntlet of one particular individual situation. Brett Keane. I was thinking, like, you know, I should probably do like a good 1 hour highlight of that. I think that would serve the channel well. But I don't want to just do a 1 hour highlight. I do have to probably... There's no probably about it. I am going to have to add some memes and little cutaways in there. I think would be ideal. You know, give more of a reason to actually watch it, as opposed to just getting some highlights. Of course, the problem is, what are the more ideal highlights of it? Should probably go in the Discord and actually shoot in the general chat, like, hey man, if there's any like highlights and anything on here you want me to focus on, be a big help if you could point to some timestamps, because scrubbing through 24 hours of footage is probably not an ideal situation for me, time-wise. I mean, I have this book, I have the transmission parody book, and I have an adult book I'm working on. So, on top of my videos. Alright, I think we are pretty much ready for the inks next time. Considering it's Saturday, it probably won't even happen as far as like time for me to work on it. A bunch of friends coming over. Husbands are nice enough. Do this here at this point. Alright, what next? Yeah, this all came together. Right, so page 1. Well, just turn that around. Yeah, page 2. Alright, where's my little Ames lettering guide? I'm gonna try Get some practice in for using that. You know, there shouldn't be many lines, but okay. Let's just make it straight line from here. Yeah, a lot of this is coming off the page. Just fine. I mean, that's the idea. Is that... Alright. Let's go from 1 inch there. Just trying to keep it straight. Wow, that's perfect. All right. So let's see, what is it? The higher this is, the bigger the lines. Barely see the shit on here. So I'll start with the top. There's my T-square. 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 I had your T-square. Where'd you go, T-square? There you are. Wish you were a little longer. But whatever. Alright. Oop. That's probably why you tape it down. So I do that right now. There. It keeps it from moving. Alright. So Ames Traditional Lettering Guide. We'll start with the, let's see. Oh, it's not gonna help if it falls off the T-square. Alright. Just let it go for that far then. Fuck it. Oh my god. I'm not gonna stay up. I'm gonna do it this way then. Here's my longer ruler. That's what I need. There, was my 18-incher. Alright. Just try to line up with that hole. Wow, it does break it in there. Alright, that's supposed to be what? Guide for the capital. And it broke it again. Wow. Yeah, they weren't kidding. Can't remember if you go every other hole or every hole. So is it like... Oh, what's the line of dialogue here? Oh, there is no line of dialogue. Oh, I can think of something to probably put here, though. Let's see. Here we have 4 mice arriving in paradise. How they got here is not important right now. The whole place was... Oh. Seems like we're all in present tense. Present tense. So the whole place is... The whole place is... Wow, I can't think of what to write there. The whole place is theirs for sharing. Right. They excitedly? That's a word, right? Excitedly? Yep. They excitedly explore the area. Their new home. So the idea of this aim and lettering guy is that lighten up the lines here. Helps keep things consistent. Though, I'm starting to think, what about letting? The whole thing for letting must have fell off somewhere. Letting guide. Here you go, letting guide. This is a perfect opportunity for you to exist. Perfect reason for you to exist for one second. Alright. So, not sure how I'd use this properly. So it's like 20-point font. Let's see. 20 to 84. Interesting. Yeah, but how I know which, like, what letters space out to what, right? I don't know. It seems more like for something else. Whatever. Looks like you're useless after all. After all these years I got you. Site. No, I don't make them all capitals. Well, why start now? Alright. And keep it short. Excitedly explore. Now I guess I should have put it further to the right, but it doesn't matter. We can always adjust it in the computer. This is why I didn't want to write it on the artwork itself. Yeah, I like to see how that aims guide really is going to help for the comic book stuff in the future. Okay. All right, snapshot. Yeah, that's right. This is all magnetized. I'm sure it doesn't kill my phone. It's funny, back in the day, like, magnets were such an enemy to computers and anything computerized. And now that shit's like uninfected. All right. Up, up, up. Okay, well, page 2 is penciled. Starting to feel it in my hand right now. So it's probably a good time to quit. Change projects into something else for the time being. Dalen, thank you for coming by as often as you do too. Appreciate it. Alright. Well, till next time. Yeah, I did get to go on a podcast. Forgot to mention that. I'm sure you've seen it. I'm sure you've seen the posts on my channel on it. Yeah, if you check out the post section, it'll be on there. It's called Real Convos. Yes, that was a fun time. Hopefully I can do it again soon. Alright, good night. Yeah.